welcome to Sewing Back. And we're in the kitchen, obviously, and I wanted to bring you along because at my job at my local senior center, I have been challenged to a game of Chopped. If any of you've ever watched the show Chopped on the Food Network, then you kind of know the premise of our game. And so we at our senior center have nutrition classes that we offer, and our program leader thought, or our program specialist thought, it would be really a fun idea, interesting idea, if we did our version of Chopped. So it's three of us who are co-workers and we're all given the same 12 ingredients, and we because we don't have a facility where we can we don't have a kitchen where we can cook. We have a facility where we can reheat food, but we don't have a full-on kitchen. We knew the cooking would be done at home, and so we each got these 12 ingredients that have to be in our food. We have to provide an appetizer, a dessert, and a crock pot main dish. So I found out what my 12 items were late last week, and I started brainstorming what I could do with these items. So the items that we each have to use, we got 2 bananas, 4 cups of milk, 1 loaf of French bread, zucchini, 8 ounces of shredded cheese, 12-ounce bag of mixed vegetables, 10 flour tortillas, 2 chicken breasts, 1 can of black beans, 4 eggs, 16 ounces of cottage cheese, and 1 pound of strawberries. And so we each got the same ingredients, and we have to use these ingredients. You don't have to use all of, I don't have to use all of the 16 ounces of cottage cheese, but I have to include it in my recipe, and it needs to be, I guess, a substantial, you couldn't go through the mixed vegetables and just pick out, a couple pieces of corn and say you used it. You really needed to try to use these flavors in whatever you're gonna be making for your courses. So I had lots of things running through my head as to what I wanted to do and trying to work through them and how I was gonna do it. And so I came up with, let me find my recipes. I came up with an appetizer, which to me was my weakest link, because I don't do a whole lot of appetizers, so I don't know, I didn't have a wheelhouse to pull from on there. But I headed over to Natasha's kitchen, and because I know she has good recipes that I can trust. And so I found one that she has on her site called Zucchini Dip Recipe. Main dish, I am gonna do a white chicken chili recipe. This recipe is actually an Instapot recipe. I can't use an Instapot, we have to use a crock pot, because I would rather use the Instapot because I know it's gonna give me a little bit better texture on my chicken breast. And one of the things I know about my seniors are they cannot stand tough, dry chicken breast. So, and of course, in my chopped ingredients, I got 2 big chicken breasts, So, one of the ways that I used some of my ingredients was I took my milk, I took 2 cups of my 4 cups of milk, and I put some vinegar in it to make my own buttermilk. And my chicken breast has been in the refrigerator now for over 24 hours, hopefully tenderizing my chicken breast. I do plan to chop it up while it's raw in small pieces before I put it in the crock pot. And then I'm gonna cook it low and slow. So I'm hoping it'll be tender enough for their palates that they like it, because I know they would much prefer dark meat. And I made my own vegetable broth. and that I'm going to use because it calls for chicken broth, but I'm going to use the vegetable broth. It says it broth. You can use chicken broth, but I'm just going to use vegetable broth for this recipe. It's going to have the chicken in it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Banana cake with the strawberry buttercream icing, because I was thinking, you know, strawberry banana goes well together. And so that's going to be my dessert. So I will not be able to show the competition because it is in a facility and it's people who are not on YouTube, but I will certainly let you guys know how I fare in the competition. So I'll let you know if I got chopped by the end of this video or if I won the competition. My coworkers seem to think I'm gonna win. I don't know that that's true. I think that they will do just fine. So, but this has been a lot of fun, and you will see kind of clips in this video of what I've done, some of the little tricks I used, and so anyway, I hope you'll come along and you'll find this enjoyable. So stay tuned to see if I get chopped. Okay guys, before I dirty up my surface with the chicken, I am gonna go ahead and cut or dice up my onion. And in this competition, we have to follow Safe Surf rules, which are you have to have on gloves and a hairnet. So those were also given to us to bring home to our home kitchen. This is such a great way to preserve your bell peppers for anything like this, or spaghetti sauces, eggs, breakfast casserole, quiche, pizza, homemade pizzas. And I just use these silicone bags that you can get. I've actually seen these now. You can find them at like Walmart and places. You don't even have to get them online. Used to you could only find them online. Okay. Now I've already drained my cannellini beans and my black beans, and I rinsed them, which per the instructions. So we're gonna put that in there. I'm going to put my Rotel. And my corn. And this was like I said, this was a Southwestern corn. It didn't call for that in the recipe, but that's what I had on my shelf. So that's what we're using. Let's see, I'm trying to use this. So I'm gonna kind of stir. I like all the colors in this. So got that going. Alright guys, I ended up using, I took the time to make my own vegetable broth. I used it all. I don't want something that doesn't have enough broth to it. So I may be taking a gamble. So because I did that, I added 2 more teaspoons of the chili powder, another half teaspoon of the cumin, and it doesn't call for salt and pepper, but I'm gonna give it a little salt and pepper. So I'm gonna do a teaspoon of salt. It wasn't quite a teaspoon. And probably, it's not, maybe a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. So I'll put that in there. And I did add another tablespoon of the ranch dressing mix, since I added extra broth because I want to still impart that flavor. And now I wash my knife, by the way. I'm just gonna, it says to cube your cream cheese. This is an 8-ounce block of regular cream cheese. And then you're just supposed to strategically, I think, place it in here. But you know what? I'm just gonna strategically get it off the stuff. Well, I'm gonna try to get it off the stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. And then I'm gonna put it in my crock pot, and I'm gonna turn it on to high heat so I can get this cooked tonight, and then I'll refrigerate it overnight. In the morning, I will heat it up in the crock pot because our chopped, I think we start at 12:30, 12:45, and when we present. So this is my main dish. The only other thing, like I said, that I'll be adding is I'm going to fry my flour tortillas. I'm going to cut them to make my own chips for a garnish, and I've got mild cheddar shredded that I'll put like a little bit of cheese on it, and I have some fresh cilantro that I have to wash. So all that's going to be garnish on top. So that's my main dish. And next I'm going to move to, I guess I'll probably go ahead and move to making my cake after I kind of clean up and reset. Okay guys, so I just pulled out my banana cake out of the oven. Actually, I think I'm gonna call it my berry banana cake. Because I didn't really, I kind of used the recipe as a guide and came up with my own thing. So I used a berry kefir blend. The original recipe called for buttermilk, and I used kefir. Kefir is great to use in place of buttermilk. I could have made some buttermilk using vinegar or lemon juice with milk, like I did with my chicken, but because I'm trying to get the berry banana flavor, and I happen to just have that kefir in my refrigerator, it's really tasty, I decided to use it instead. And this right here is strawberry. So I took my fresh strawberries and I pureed them in my immersion blender, and I think I used about 6 to 8 strawberries. I tried to pick the ripest ones. They're not quite in season yet. You could have probably done this with frozen berries, and that probably would have had a better flavor as far as the strawberries go, because they're frozen at peak, season. But we made the best of it. I mean, how bad can it be when you add that much powdered sugar and butter? And I did a little bit of, I think it was 1/4 of a teaspoon of some salt and 1/2 of a teaspoon of my bourbon vanilla. And this is gonna be what I ice my cake with once it's totally cool. And I'm excited. I feel like this one is a sure winner. I can't imagine that it won't taste delicious. I believe I have a good bake. It did, the recipe that I had was for cupcakes. I made a cake. So in my oven, it took me at 350 degrees, it took about 45 minutes to bake. And I did the toothpick test in a lot of places. It came clean, so I feel good about that. So this is ready to go as soon as this cools down. My white chicken chili is going over in the crock pot. Let me show you. So this is the white chicken chili. Spoon. I ended up putting another block of cream cheese in it, and I'm seriously considering adding another can. I have some black beans downstairs and adding another can of black beans because I really like them to have a black bean in everybody who tastes it. And I feel like there's enough of all the other stuff. Plus, y'all know I added my vegetable broth. So yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna add another can of black beans. I might end up adding a second one of the cannellini beans as well. And I can't taste it because I put raw chicken in it. So I'm hoping it tastes good. I'll be able to taste it probably in another hour. The chicken should be done at that point. I hope so. And I'm gonna garnish this again with cheddar cheese, cilantro, it's fresh cilantro. And the only thing I have left to do is to toast up my French bread and to fry up my flour tortillas so that I can use that as a garnish for my soup. Or if the French bread doesn't go great, then the tortillas could be used for the dip. So anyway, that is my chopped meal. I'll insert a picture, probably a couple of them. And like I said, when you see at the end of this, you'll see whether I got chopped. So anyway, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I hope that you have a nice evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.